Okay. So welcome everyone. Today is November 18th, and this is the monthly call for the Peer Learning Network for the Forest Business Alliance. So we're just going to take a pulse, quick overview and intro today. I think we'll be doing a bit of just a debrief on the Forest Products Week and sort of also opening up for any other questions or things, any other support, technical support that anybody would like. But let's just start with that. And I think since it's a smaller group, I think we'll just start. I think we don't need to do introductions at this point right now. But unless, do we want to do a brief update? Jeff just gave a little update about where he's at, so maybe that would be helpful. But Jeff, could you do that again since that wasn't on the recording? And then if anyone else has any other updates they'd like to add, we can do that and then we'll get started. How's that sound, everyone? Okay. All right. So Jeff, do you want to go ahead?
Okay, yeah, just where I'm at with Plumas Wood Fiber. I don't know if all of you know, but it's a project to make a biomass processing facility here in Quincy, processing forest biomass into a substitute for peat moss for the horticultural industry. And I now have a good feasibility study that I got with working with consultants and grants. With CAL FIRE and the local Fire Safe Council. So now I'm in a position where I can apply for substantial funding. That's what I'm doing now. So um, one thing that I'm looking at is the Richard King Mellon Foundation has a forest wood products innovation program for investment into private businesses and grants for nonprofits. Um, I applied and they haven't made their decisions yet, but I did get a call from one of the people there. And he told me that my application is higher on their list, which is very encouraging. So that possibly provides some substantial equity for my project. And secondly, I'm working with USDA on some agricultural grants. So because what I'm doing is proposing to supply material.
Oh, Jeff, you just froze. Did he freeze for everyone else?
Yeah, or you just cut out.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I dropped off, but here I'm back again. Okay. Working with the USDA on the possibility of some of these large agricultural grants. So what USDA wants to do is to help farmers with what they need, right? And they want to promote domestic supply of things that agriculture needs so they don't have to import stuff. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing. So I qualify for several of these programs. I'm going to be applying for the biorefining loan guarantee program that they have. And if I qualify for that, if I can get a commercial bank to give me a loan, which is guaranteed by this USDA program, then I would qualify for the bio marketing manufacturing grant, which could be several million dollars. So I had a conversation with one of the program managers there at the USDA in Washington, D.C., which was interesting because he's right in the thick of, all that stuff that's going on there now. But anyway, he was very helpful and very encouraging. Now, these grant applications are pretty thick. So I got to go through NEPA. I have someone here in the Resource Conservation District who has offered to help me with NEPA. That's great. But I'm also going to need a engineering evaluation. So some engineer has to look at the mechanical stuff that I'm doing and verify that it's technically feasible, right? This is new to me. So a question I have for everybody here is, do you know how I find an engineer who can give me that evaluation? So briefly, that's where I'm at right now.
It's great.
What one thought on that, Jeff? I can put you in touch with a couple of folks that were doing some engineered tests, I think through Oregon State. It was more looking at like what species would work for CLT manufacturing, but they did some engineering tests um at OSU, I think, through that. But I'll get you in touch with them. And I mean, there's got to be. Does it have to be? Can they be from anywhere?
That's what I don't know. So I didn't get really deeply into that with the guy I spoke with at USDA, but the basic intent is that they want a verification that whatever process or procedure I'm suggesting is simply mechanically or from an engineering perspective is possible, not from a
Okay.
financial perspective. It's not, whether the business could make a profit. It's whether or not the machines will actually do what I'm saying that they will do. So it has
Yeah.
to be someone who is familiar enough with this type of machinery, which is different because what I'm proposing to use are specialized uh, extruder machines, most of which are produced, all of which are produced in Europe by their engineering specifications.
Yeah.
So and then there's baling technology, which is pretty common. That shouldn't be a problem. Although the baling technology that I'm proposing to use is a little bit specialized. It's for peat moss and like horse bedding and that kind of thing. So there aren't that
Yeah.
many installations for it. But anyway, maybe I got to get trained an engineer
Have you
from
asked cooperative extension folks like in Plumas if they
there
know of
is a UC cooperative extension person here in Plumas. I
they
think that
might they might have an idea. I mean they might be an ag person, but there might be UC and A&R folks more on the biomass wood product side who are mostly at Berkeley or there's a couple based in Southern Central Valley that might know who to contact as well.
that's a good lead. Yes, and actually, I've spoken with Cindy Chen, who may be one of the people
Yeah,
that you're
Cindy,
talking
who
to.
is who I was thinking of. Josh Harrison from Center for Force Majeure was who I was thinking of that um, hired the engineers to do the CLT testing, or it was basically wood testing. And there's also the I don't even know if it's open, but there's the Wood Products Lab in Mad is that Martin, is that in Madison? I think it's in Madison, Wisconsin. They must have engineers there.
You mean the Forest Products Lab?
Forest Products Lab, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, what Jeff's looking for is not about testing the product, but is testing the or
The machinery.
verifying the machines. So maybe Cal Poly, Humboldt, they have an engineering department.
Yeah,
Where I know somebody there. So that I think it's closer. We're not talking about the product. We're talking about the equipment.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Like Humboldt would be good, like to contact there. I don't know anybody there. And
I think I need.
OSU as well, which is probably going to have more forest machinery type engineers.
I think I need more direction from the USDA to see exactly what they want,
Yeah,
who they would consider to be qualified to do this, and then I'll pursue these avenues if they seem appropriate.
cool. Okay, that's great. That sounds really promising. And also with Mellon Foundation, that's really great too, Jeff.
Thank you for that update, Jeff, and for sharing that. The
Yeah, thank
reporting.
you.
And congratulations. Yeah, good luck with that. Shane,
Oh,
oh, go ahead.
before we
Yeah,
move on, I just put a link in the chat to a case
right.
that we haven't publicized yet, but we're about to. That's on Plymouth Wood products or Plymouth Wood Fiber rather.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I saw that.
Yeah, it is published now on your website. Chris put it up, and
Yeah,
he did a lot of hard work and really researched what I'm doing. I'm greatly appreciative for his excellent write-up.
Excellent. Nice work, everyone. Yeah. Shane, do you have any quick check-in update that you'd like to share if you're able to?
Hey, so I haven't been on these calls before. I'm a newbie,
Oh, sorry about that. Welcome. I wasn't aware of that.
but yeah, I can just
You want
say,
to just give it a brief introduction then about who you are, where you are, what you're kind of up to?
yeah. So I'm a newbie here. I'm in Southern California, Orange County, and so my situation here is that there's very little of this kind of forestry work and you know, lumber products and stuff like that down here. So I'm trying to get my own sawmill just to start. And Forest Service has Forest Service down here has various forest thinning projects, and the wood mostly any wood that comes out, they're just cutting up and selling for firewood. So like nothing is getting used. There's a lot of good material um, that's going to, it could be used for much uh, better, products. And then there's also the urban trees down here as well. There's a couple of urban sawmills in Southern California, but um, they're yeah, it's a big hole that could be filled. So that's what I'm trying to start here.
Excellent. And are you independent, Shane?
Yes, and so I'll like the struggle right now is I got just enough money to afford a sawmill, and the one I'm going for is a swing blade that can handle basically any log up to 6 foot diameter. Um, but then space is an issue, so I'm trying to look for a better space to have that sawmill in my yard. And
Great.
then yeah,
Awesome.
that the other work you guys are doing sounds really awesome. Um, like I, grow some of my own native plants and things, and hearing about that, um, you know, wood processing machines that could provide that material for nurseries sounds really cool as well.
There was some folk. Have you connected with the urban mill that's in Long Beach at all, Shane? From with the shoot, I'm forgetting the name of the organization that was they were taking logs off of San Bernardino and Angeles National Forests.
There's one
And
called Angel City.
pardon?
There's one called Angel City Lumber.
It might
Uh,
be them. I'll think of it in a sec, or I'll send you a note. But um, yeah, I'm blanking on who it was. I spoke to them like 3 years ago about it. So yeah, it's been a while.
And Shane, are you on the listserv that gets notifications for the Peer Learning Network?
I think so. I just signed up a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't send one for this one, but
Okay. Yeah.
so you didn't miss anything there, but typically we do just to make sure that you're on that listserv.
Cool.
That's great. Yeah, and happy to follow up on a call as I mentioned in my email yesterday too, Shane, if you want to talk in more depth about that.
Yeah, I'll find a time that works for me, and that would be a great help. Thanks.
Cool.
And I'll put the link in here
Welcome.
as well. Yeah, to sign up at the bottom of that page, just in case. Yeah. Yeah, so glad you're here, Shane. Thank you.
Do we have your contact info, Shane?
Um,
I've got Shane, I have Shane's email.
Oh, good. Okay.
Great. Great.
yeah.
Okay.
Or I
Well,
can
there's a lot of good
send it in.
resources here and lots of good conversations. So it's great to attend, and then a lot of people make connections and they can have a lot of good follow-up calls. So really glad you're here. John, what about you?
Hey everybody, good to be here. Yeah, cool stuff, Shane and Jeff. I appreciate your updates too. Glad things are moving along. Um, for a quick reminder, I'm with Forager Fuels, and we're doing a relocatable way to process biomass into hydrogen as well as high quality char. And my focus recently has been I've got two projects going in parallel. We've got a grant funded project to optimize our prototype system for higher hydrogen yield and a couple other improvements. And then in parallel with that, I did bring on an engineering team, to your point, Jeff, to help kind of validate my designs for the full production scale system. I ended up going with Forest Concepts, who I believe many of you know up there in Washington. They've been a great group, and they've helped me with a number of things over the last year or so. So all that is in preparation for fundraising in the spring. Those two projects should culminate beginning of next year. And in the meantime, I'm continuing to identify and network with potential funding sources, both strategic and VCs and angels, and then also really spending quite a bit of time on the hydrogen market side of things, especially with some of the federal shifts this year, and a little bit of a shakeup to the California hydrogen market. But overall, that doesn't seem to be an issue. And I'm just trying to find, some good line on kind of buyers and kind of the right people that are willing to pay more for quality green hydrogen. One of the things I'm doing that's aiding in that is starting the LCSF accreditation approval process. So I've got some meetings lined up with those folks. I'm going through the paperwork now, and it should be so far like the lowest carbon intensity hydrogen available. Electrolysis is sort of the standard, but biohydrogen is pretty incredible in that regard. So that should really help my marketability of it when those credits can be available to whoever is pumping and distributing that hydrogen at the last mile. So plenty of more things going on as well. Networking with tribes, learning more about their interests in energy independence and fuel reduction methods. But yeah, those are just a few of the things that I've had my hands in recently. It's been a lot of fun.
John, have you met Sherilyn Ashmead, who's our tribal coordinator?
No, I've not.
I'll connect you guys. If not today, tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
She worked with before she came to us, she worked with the Auburn Rancheria, but she's been like a force of nature, like connecting with and working with tribes all over the state. So she's she'd be a really good person for you to meet and connect with for networking and connecting to various
Great.
folks.
Yeah, I've not met with her yet.
Okay,
I've talked to the
I'll
groups.
I'll do an introduction.
Yeah, I've talked to quite a few, and it's more networking here at this point. I don't
Yeah.
have a productized unit to be ready to sell to anybody yet. I think if there were opportunities to partner with tribal groups, it would be more on, going after some of the large amounts of funding available to them in sort of a, testing and go to market process, where they could be the first to help validate and drive local, economic growth and, be some of the first to kind of benefit from this tech. So I'm really not coming after it with any sort of particular asks or anything. It's just been great to network, and if there are folks that are interested in participating early, I'd love to make those connections.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Vance.
Sure.
So Vance, do you want to kind of tee up the Forest Business Products Week recap?
So yeah, well, I'll just hand it over to Martin, who led it and developed a lot of the webinars with one of his colleagues at the Watershed Center, and a few other folks. But there were some really great panels and tours that went on. Tamara Costa and Jeremy from Forestry Collective did some participated in some of those and also led some field trips. They've participated with us in the past in the Peer Learning Network and are still in the network. So and then there were several others that we're connected with too. So yeah, I think as far as I could tell, it was a really successful week. And sadly, it was during the lockdown, so some of the Forest Service folks couldn't participate or make the announcement that the WIG grants are going live. So that hasn't happened yet. But I think the showcasing and of the different projects and also the field trips that went on were really great. So Martin, I don't know if you have any like just sort of general summary impressions, what went well, what you might do differently, things like that.
Yeah, so that was October 19th through 25th. National Forest Products Week has been going on for a few decades, and yes, despite the federal government being shut down, Forest Service folks not being available, there was a presidential declaration of that week. And yeah, I think we had, well, I know we had probably the most diverse week that we've had in the whatever 7, 8 years that I've been with the Watershed Center and have been coordinating that in the past. Monday we had two webinars. One was with the state of forest product manufacturing in California. Larry Swan, retired Forest Service, gave a great presentation. Since he's retired, he could speak freely, which was an advantage. He was not under the federal ban, but yeah, Jim DePasquale could not. So yeah, Larry Swan covered that. And then the afternoon, we had a webinar on building regional supply chains in support of California forests. And we do have a recording of that presentation. I can put the link. We have it on Vimeo. I can put the link in the chat here in a bit. That provided just an overview of different players in the construction industry, architects, designers, how we can get them more involved to utilize California wood products, California building products. Wednesday we had, and that was Tamara's and Jeremy's event in Sonoma County, celebrating Sonoma County's sustainable wood utilization innovators. I don't think we have a recording of that. I think we have a few images. And again, that was local community. Tamara is just a dynamo in that area over there in that county. What they're trying to do there, the process of purchasing a former sawmill, and yeah, trying to find the funding, but has pulling the right people together for this. Thursday, there was a site visit near Fresno, Welker's Custom Cut Lumber. I did not drive all the way down there. That would have been all day for a 1 hour site tour. And I think they had 6 or 7 people attend. I think CAL FIRE was pretty much present at all of these events, so which is good. And Then on, let me see here. Friday, there was a in-person conference, Modern Mills, Bigger Opportunities, with Far West Forest Products down in, oh, is it Chico? Somewhere around there. So they have developed Ancestry, which is a platform to market wood products. They are the distributor for Wood-Mizer in the on the West Coast, and they had a demo of the equipment on Saturday, open house. And so this Ancestry is kind of the Craigslist Facebook for wood products, where individual sawmill operators can put their products on a platform and reach a larger market audience. And on the other side, if you're an architect, if you're a designer, and you say, I need whatever 50,000 square feet of whatever kind of lumber, trying to find that from one supplier can be hard, but this platform allows that they can access a whole variety of suppliers and actually can come up with whatever 10,000 board feet of material. So it works in both directions. And then we had in the afternoon of Friday, oh no, that was in the morning as well, a biochar symposium. I think it was a 2 hour online session, and then they had three in the field events with a biochar kiln, the Ring of Fire, and just demonstrating how this piece of equipment, which can be easily moved around, can be utilized by forest landowners and land managers. Yeah, that was pretty much that week, and I will try to find the link to that presentation, and then folks can review what we did there. Other questions?
Thanks, Martin. Yeah, does anybody have questions for Martin at any level?
I have a question, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Where I am is, you know, different from other areas of California in that private landowners can't even have a pile burn or like a charcoal burn, things like that. So, uh, yeah, so you were talking about that Ring of Fire. I think I've heard of that. That's that product that's just like a metal container, right? Um, like how would I go about trying to change the policies in my area for, people being able to have those biochar burns on their own land? Like right now, it's only agencies that are allowed to do that here.
Great question. I don't think that's a standard or blanket answer. The question is who's putting up the roadblocks? Is that your air district? So why can they not? And what I know from other parts of the state as well as other states is sometimes you have to bring people and introduce them to the technology and say, this is how this works. And yeah, and then that way it takes outreach, it takes education, it takes information. Yeah, I mean there's probably reasons, and again, depending on who's putting up the roadblocks would be interesting to know. And then introducing the folks and take them to field sites and say, this is how this works. This is what it does. There's less smoke than a burn pile. There's less risk of the fire running away because it's contained, and all these different concerns, which are legitimate. But yeah, I would need to understand more what the barriers are to give you a better answer.
Yeah, it's just the air quality district here that has that rule.
Right. Yeah. So it would come down to have them watch if you do this right, what is the difference in emissions? between somebody just burning an open pile, be it an agency or a private landowner, the smoke's the same, or the emissions are the same, and then have a maybe side by side comparison. And I mean, we have studies on how these different systems work. Some very simple, like the Ring of Fire or a conservation burn, which you don't even need a steel ring; it's just a hole in the ground. To some more developed and more expensive technologies. So, yeah,
There's
I think
also, I don't know what association would be most appropriate, but there's a number of groups in the state that have started up, some of them pretty recently, like the Prescribed Fire Burn Association or the Prescribed Fire, like some of those groups that have done like a lot of really great work to move the needle on, air districts and state policy and other types of policies on, getting more prescribed fires done. So similar kind of concept. But like with a local air district, I think Martin's exactly right. Like get them out on a demo day and have them check it out.
yeah. So Shane, I'm happy to connect offline and directly via email, Zoom, phone call, and see what we can do there. Yes, you're in the south. You're in a bit of a desert, in terms of wood utilization and yes, we know.
Thanks for that. And Shane, if you don't have Martin's email, let us know. We can forward that, or you can find that. I can find it online. We'll put it in there.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, great. Thanks, Martin. Anyone else have questions? About the week or for Martin or in general?
I'd love to get more
Oh,
involved.
Martin, tell
Oh,
us.
sorry. Hang on one second, Vance. John was just about to.
Oh, go ahead, John.
Oh, no. I'm just saying I look forward to getting more involved next year, Martin, and it sounds like a great event. And I was curious if anybody happens to be going tomorrow to the bioenergy BAC meeting in Oakland. If you will be there,
I won't know.
Sorry, Vance, go ahead.
What is that meeting?
Bioenergy Association of California. It's their member meeting, but I'm not yet a full member, but they were nice enough to let me sit in on one. So I'm looking forward to it and can report back next time if I learn anything.
Great. Thanks, Shane. All right,
Yeah,
sorry.
it tends to be heavy on ag and dairy and a lot of policy stuff. The wood and woody biomass is still the ugly stepchild. I mean, we're trying, but it's not as straightforward as ag and dairy. And so the Bioenergy Association covers the whole range. So wood, forest biomass is only a portion of this. But we do have the very first standalone forest biomat plant operating in Hat Creek. So under the biomat program, the market adjusting tariff, which has been on the books for 11, 12 years, and until May we didn't have a forest bioenergy plant under that program operating. So yeah.
I got to see that facility last week, actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't made it up there yet, but yeah.
I didn't get a full tour, but we were able to drive there and take a look from the outside. I was with a gentleman, Jeremy from Redco. And I think he had talked with Elizabeth or somebody to get access, but very cool, especially after hearing about it the week prior, where Martin, you and I were at that conference where they spoke about it too. So yeah, very, very impressive. I would love to go back and learn more about it.
Yeah, they did the ribbon cutting a week before National Forest Products Week. I was trying to push them on that Wednesday because that's usually National Bioenergy Day
Well, that would have been
during
great.
National Forest Products Week.
Yeah.
But they had some startup commissioning thing going that week, so they couldn't. But it's just good to know that one of these things is now operating, and hopefully North Fork will be the next. We shall see.
And yeah,
And
despite what Martin said too, like I know the members of the association are mostly ag and but Julia Levin, who's the ED, I don't know if you've interacted with her or not, John, but she's very supportive of more like
She is.
wood forest-based bioenergy and biomass. So and she's also Julia's really good at policy as Martin
Yeah.
did say too. So she's definitely a good ally to have.
I think that's why she was nice enough to let me join this one. I think she's just
Yeah,
interested in this space and knows the potential here in California, especially. So we'll see. I'll report back.
yeah,
Yeah, no, she's excellent, and I think she used to be a commissioner on one of the state commissions in the past. I don't know if it was CEC or CPUC, and but yeah,
yeah.
no,
She was like an energy commission
yeah, she's
commissioner.
been deeply in the weeds, lawyer by trade,
Yeah,
and yeah, and I mean I don't know if you know this, but the CPUC Utility Commission is wants to shut down the biomat program by the end of the year. So that's a big thing right now. The Bioenergy Association of California has sued the CPUC. So it'll be decided in court, but yeah, there's a chance that the program will shut down end of this year.
Interesting.
but
sorry. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
I was at the ribbon cutting for the West Biofuels plant up in Hat Creek because West Biofuels is considering the possibility of setting up a plant like that down here in Quincy, which I would co-locate with for the sake of getting cheaper electricity, et cetera. So they're in the process of doing an interconnect study here in Quincy to determine how to connect to the grid here with PG&E. And they said that they will be filing with the Biomat program before the end of December. So evidently, if they file by then, even if the program does end, having filed, they would then be able to proceed with it if they do create a plant here in Quincy. I don't know how it all works, but I think that they believe they can make a plant that they would make here in Quincy qualify for the Biomat program.
Yeah, as long as it's under 5 MW nameplate capacity and 3 MW exported, it usually falls under biomat. And they want to and what biofuels wants to build one here in Grass Valley as well. So they're talking with PG&E and the city for another facility.
Martin, do you know what's going on in Camptonville? I heard a third-hand rumor that they had some kind of a difficulty with interconnection, additional costs or something like that.
Everybody has additional challenges with interconnection and costs. Yes, it's one of the major challenges for the projects that are underway. Yes, and it usually goes into the millions, additional millions of dollars to get interconnection done. So yes, true.
Right. Camptonville has been working on their project for 10 years. They recently began construction, was my understanding. And the third-hand rumor, which may be totally inaccurate, was that all of a sudden they had additional interconnection costs sprung upon them here at the last minute. That's what I heard, but I don't, that could be totally wrong. Maybe it's, and I'm just wondering if anybody knows exactly what's going on with them.
That sounds familiar. They would not be the first and not be the only one who that has happened to.
Who has had additional interconnection fees sprung on them in the last minute, so to speak? You've seen that before?
I mean, North Fork
Or-
has been struggling. Um, and then there was one other one, and they relocated actually at some point from the
Sierra
early
Institute had that issue as well.
Pardon?
Sierra Institute had that issue, I think, as well.
Yeah, Sierra Institute is not pursuing it anymore. So no.
Yeah. It seems like you would get your interconnection issues established ahead of time before you're going to pull the trigger on construction of a project. And then to have additional interconnection fees sprung on you at the last minute is obviously, unfair, but maybe that's what happens. I don't know.
Oh, Martin, I was gonna ask you about I'll watch the video, of course, but can you say more about the regional supply chains and kind of what some of the key points that were brought up there on that webinar?
It was still fairly high level. Again, how to bring architects and designers into the fold, how to get them interested in California made wood products, and yeah. So it was a series of presentations for different approaches, but it's nothing that's implemented. It's still a fairly theoretical
Cool.
thing. Yeah. But it's what we're from the Watershed Center are trying to work on, right? Durable wood products, wood building products to have a few more legs on that stool rather than that just bioenergy from
Right.
forest residue. And so yeah, that would be part of it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make sure Shane saw Vance's note in the chat about another contact in Southern California that he can make. So since you're off camera, Shane, I just wanted to make sure you saw that.
I got that. Thanks.
Great. Okay. Anyone else have questions or about anything that you'd like to bring up or get some, brainstorm or ideas from others in the group while we're here? We've got a few more minutes if we need it. Okay. Well, we can always end early and give everyone gift of a few minutes of time.
We'll hopefully have a speaker next month or and in January. We haven't determined who that is yet, but we'll return next month with a speaker in hand.
And our next meeting would be on Tuesday, the 16th of December. Same time, and we will send out an update ahead of time for that one.
Looking forward to it. And even just these brief catch-ups is always a pleasure and good to see everybody and learn about what
Yeah.
you're doing. So thank you.
Yeah, same. It was good to hear where everybody's at and all the work that's being done and just the connections. Thank you all for joining.
Thanks, everyone.
Pleasure. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.